Good evening, Gills fans. Welcome back to the latest episode of Gills in the Blood TV. It is Monday review time, and it is a Monday review where we can look back at 3 points, 2 goals, 1 clean sheet, and 1 massive victory against then league leaders Wycombe Wanderers at the weekend. In what was, for me, probably our most complete performance of the season that I've seen live. I've not missed too many so far. But in terms of us with the ball, without the ball, defensively, offensively, thought we were really, really good. And thoroughly deserved our 2-0 win. Wycombe, for me, didn't look a side that had gone 7 unbeaten prior to the weekend. I thought they made it relatively easy for us to play against them. But let's give credit to us. Let's not say that it was all down to Wycombe being poor or below par. Let's give credit where credit's due to us and our players and our manager and our coaching staff and say, well done on a job well done, because in a scrappy first half where there was plenty of free kicks, plenty of stoppages, not much in the way of goalmouth action, I think Jack Bonham had to make 1 real save, and I think their keeper Ryan Alsop had to make 1 real save from Max Amer, far post, where he brought the ball under control from an Ollie Lee free kick, and Alsop made a decent save with his legs. That was probably it in terms of clear-cut chances in the first period. Plenty of the game was played in the middle third. And like I say, it was a bit bitty and a bit stop-start, and that made it hard for either side to get into their stride, to get the ball down and play with any sort of rhythm. But what pleased me was that without the ball, we were really resolute, kept our shape really well, and not really at any stage did we look like we was massively under the cosh and then in any real danger of conceding the first goal. So yeah, that was a massive fillip for the boys. And obviously, second half we thought that maybe Steve Evans' team talk and Gareth Ainsworth's team talk would probably be similar, and that both sides would think if they come out and up their levels in the second period that they could grab the game by the scruff of the neck and potentially go on and win it. And it was imperative that team was us, and it was, because we scored 2 really good goals second period. One after great work by a substitute, and the other obviously was a well-struck penalty. But yeah, let's break them down a little bit further. I thought that at the time I was pretty vocal in my disappointment that Mikel Mandron was coming off. I thought that Steve Evans had forgot to watch the game, had picked the wrong Mikel to withdraw. I thought that Mandron should have stayed on, and that Mikel and Jolly, who for me had been anonymous for the first 60 minutes, should have been taken off. I was very pleased that Brandon Hanlon was coming on, but I just thought that Steve got the choice of player being withdrawn completely wrong. But that's why I sit here and talk about it on YouTube and watch the game from the stands, and that's why Steve Evans is employed by Gillingham Football Club to make these decisions, because 60 seconds later, Brandon Hanlon, incredible first touch on the left-hand side on the halfway line, absolutely annihilates the centre-back for pace, drives with power into the box, has the wherewithal to get his head up, spots the run of Mikel and Jolly, who's been clever enough to run into the 6-yard box and then just peel off to the edge, in between the 6-yard line and the penalty spot, and Brandon picks him out with a really good ball, and from there Mikel's got plenty to do. Great first touch, swivel, wraps his foot round it into the top corner, and suddenly it was a different game. Suddenly there was more openings, there was more space for us to play into. We were getting in between the lines a lot better, and then 20 minutes from time, another piece of quality, another one that was very few and far between in a game that, like I say, was engaging and interesting to watch, but wasn't full of attacking flair. And Ollie Lee, though, really clever, realises in the box he's not going to get a shot away, so he drops the shoulder, little step over, nutmegs the defender, and he panics, grabs hold of his shirt, pushes Ollie Lee to the floor. A stonewall penalty for me. I know a few Wycombe fans have thought it was soft, but for me it's one of them where if you're the fan supporting the attacking side, you're screaming penalty all day long, and defender, maybe there's not loads of contact, but he's made the referee make a decision, and for me the referee's made it the right decision. From there, Mikel and Jolly picks it up, really good pen, doubles his league tally for the season, and with 18 minutes to go we were thinking even us can't throw away a 2-goal lead from here, surely. And credit to everybody involved, we didn't. We managed the game superbly. I know Gareth Ainsworth has said they had lots of shots and plenty of chances, but where were these shots coming from? Outside the box, edge of the box. Did they ever really play in behind us? No, I don't think so. Jack Bonham, I think, has made one proper save in the whole game, so I think them statistics were slightly misleading. And yeah, like I say, we managed it really well. And it was nice, obviously, as a bonus for Jack Bonham on his birthday to pick up a clean sheet as well as the 3 points. And in terms of the squad and the players and everyone affiliated with the club, it's a massive boost, because it means now that we've shown we can get over the line, we can get ourselves in front, and we can stay in front. And we've done it already against Bolton, but let's be honest, that was Bolton's youth team effectively. So to do it against a side that were unbeaten before Saturday, that had taken 4 wins and 3 draws from their first 7 games, is a very good good effort from everyone involved. And let's hope now that we can kick on, go on a bit of a run, start building that momentum, and start looking into the top half, because we are now only a point off the top half of the table, I think, despite sitting 14th. 2 points, sorry. Bristol Rovers, who we play on Tuesday, and we'll get to them in a little while, they sit 12th with 11 points, but they've played an extra game than us. So yeah, put out a couple of tweets and posts on social media yesterday regarding the Gills start. So we'll just run through them quickly. In terms of, after 7 games, we're in the top 10 in League One in terms of goals scored, shots on target, goals conceded, clean sheets. So that's a sign now that we are doing it right at both ends. We're starting to get the balance correct. And obviously, if we can keep doing that and keep improving at both ends of the pitch, then I think we'll start being able to think about having a relatively decent season. I'm still not sure exactly what that is, and I'm not going to get ahead of myself and start saying that we're going to get promoted, we're going to get in the top 2, we're going to get in the top 6 just yet, because obviously it is only 7 games. But for me, all the signs are really, really positive. And another thing that I looked at was in terms of our starts in League One. This is our 7th season back at this level, and only Justin Edinburgh, the late Justin Edinburgh, has managed to get us off to a better start in League One in that period since 2013. So 9 points from 21 that we've taken this season is the 3rd best. Justin, we remember 2015 had that incredible start where I think we won 5 and drew 2 of the first 7 and took 17 points. So that unfortunately has been the anomaly, the blip, so to speak, over recent years. And we've had a couple of horrendous ones, I think 2013 and 2017. Under Martin Allen and Adrian Pennock. We only took 3 points from the first 7 games. That was 3 draws and no wins. And we're somewhere in the middle of that at the moment. And it's been a promising start. Like I say, we've only lost 2 in 7, which is a good sign. Not once have we been battered this season. And in periods, we've looked very, very good and looked like we could take on the very best that this division has to offer. But talking of one person, because that's enough probably now about the game. Oh no, I will just do, sorry, before I finish, match ratings comparison. Yeah, so myself, Boz and Stocky obviously did our match ratings after the game between the 3 of us, and I like to compare that to Luke Cordell, who writes in the Medway Messenger. So I'll read the player out and then I'll do Luke's and ours. So Jack Bonham, we both gave 7. Barry Fuller, 8, we gave 7.5. Max Amar, we both rated him 7. Connor Ogilvie, Luke gave an 8, we said 7.5. Thomas O'Connor, 7, we said 7.5. We thought we got better as the game went on, and Stocky actually had him as his pick for man of the match, I believe. In midfield, Alfie Jones got an 8 from Luke, we said 7, thought he was slightly less immaculate than he has been, and he was still very, very good. Mark Marshall, 6, we gave a 7, we thought that was one of his best performances since arriving and pulling on a Gills shirt in terms of energy and work rate with and without the ball. Thought he was very good, still tracking back, sprinting back into his own area in the last 5 minutes, 2 minutes, and I think that's a positive sign for future with Mark Marshall. It looks like his fitness levels are getting where they need to be now. Mark Byrne, Luke gave him a 7, we gave 7.5, thought he was really good. I think he was mine and Stocky's, mine and Boz's pick for man of the match. Ollie Lee, 7, we gave 6.5. thought he was slightly off it, but obviously he was one of many that was struggling due to this virus that broke out in the camp last week, and there was plenty that had to play not fully fit and having not eaten for a couple of days, it seems. So that's another major positive in terms of the fact that we've had to dig really deep, search within ourselves to get something out of the game, and we've managed to do it. Michael and Jolly, Luke gave an 8, we said 7. We were quite blunt and said that apart from the 2 goals, we thought he was poor up until his first one, but fair play to him, he stuck at it and took his goals really well. Michael Mandron 6, we said 6.5. In terms of substitutes, Luke gave Brandon Hanlon an 8, we gave him a 7. And Ben Pringle and Stuart O'Keefe didn't get ratings off Luke. I think we gave Ben Pringle a 6.5 and we didn't rate Stuart O'Keefe. Obviously, he only played the last 35 seconds, I think it was. But yeah, so not too far out. Again, like I say, a really good team performance. But there is one mention that I want to make. He's an ex-manager of ours and he has already been spoken about. And that is this man, coming up on your screen now. Adrian Pennock, now manager of Singapore's side, DPMM, and that's their shortened version. That's the initials. I'm not going to try and say the full version of what they're called, but congratulations to AD and whatever his coaching staff is out there. Just been crowned champions in that division. Won the league with 2 games to spare and have only been defeated 3 times in 22 matches this season. Excuse me. So yeah, good to see AD having a complete change, complete culture shock, I'd imagine. Probably completely different to the game in this country. And I think it's probably done him good to get away, get out of the spotlight, so to speak, after a tricky spell with us and a tricky spell at Barrow as well. So yeah, congratulations to Adrian Pennock on being crowned Singapore League champions with his club. That's an achievement in itself. It doesn't matter what level. Winning trophies is what it's all about. So well done to AD. But yeah, match preview time now, because we do have a Tuesday evening game this week and we travel to the Memorial Stadium on Tuesday evening to take on this lot. Bristol Rovers is our midweek opponent, fresh from their 1-0 away victory over Lincoln City at the weekend. Very good performance by all accounts from them. Not many teams have taken points off Lincoln this season. They have just hit a little bit of a wall. Maybe that's to do with the absence of obviously Danny and Nicky Cowley have recently left the club. So going to take a bit of adjusting up there at Sincil Bank now. But fair play to Graham Coughlin and his players. That's a very good win on the road. Any away win is very good at this level. Yeah, and their record this season stands at played 8, won 3, drawn 2 and lost 3. So they've taken 11 points, but that is from 24 available. In comparison, we've taken 9 from 21. So not too much in it in terms of form. In terms of standouts for them, obviously Johnson Clark-Harris has been absolutely immaculate since going in. Carried on this season where he left off last season. He's hit 5 in 7 in League One this season. But one thing I would say is if we're looking to stop them play, stopping him play, because he scored 56% of their goals this season. He's got 5 and they've only scored 9 in total. Only conceded 10 from their 8 games. We've only conceded 8 from 7. So it does point to being another keenly contested and even contest. I think last season we won up there, didn't we? 2-1. Elliot List and Callum Riley on the score sheet before a late goal. Meant that we was under the cosh for a while at the end, but we saw it out. And then they came back and beat us at the Priestfield later on in the season. Again on a Tuesday night, coincidentally. Johnson Clark-Harris scored an absolute worldie that evening. But yeah, obviously he's full of quality, full of confidence, full of goals. But if we can keep him quiet, then I'd hope that would go some way to helping us at least getting a point out of the match. In terms of team news, Steve Evans has confirmed today that all of those that were suffering with these virus symptoms have trained, which is a great sign. Do we make changes? It's a tricky one. If it's not broke, don't fix it, and all that type of thing. So I'd imagine the back 5 will stay as the same. I wouldn't change that because obviously they're going to be full of confidence after a clean sheet. Alfie Jones picks himself at the moment. There's only probably 1 or 2 positions where I'm not sure, and that would be 1 in midfield and 1 up top. But for me, I think I'd leave the middle 4 the same, so I would carry on with Alfie Jones, Mark Byrne, Mark Marshall and Oliver Lee, if he's fit enough. Because I thought, like I say, Mark Marshall was probably one of his better games in a dual shirt, and I think it'd be slightly unjust if we then pulled him out. But again, it depends on fitness and tiredness and fatigue and whether everyone's got any niggles or anything like that. Mikel and Jolly, you can't really take him out of the lineup now after scoring 2 at the weekend. And then we've got to try and get the top scorer back in, Alex Jakubiak. But there's another man, Brandon Hanlon, who come on and had a huge impact on the game at the weekend. So for me, I'd probably go with Njolly and Hanlon. Mikel Mandron wasn't as effective as he'd probably have wished. Steve Evans would have probably have wished. And us as fans would probably have wished. But by no means was he poor. It was just that Brandon gave us a slightly different outball. Raw pace, raw power, as opposed to Mikel, who's not going to run in behind so much, but where you can hit him, you can hit his head, you can hit his chest, and he'll bring it under control and get others into play. But for me, I think Brandon done enough on Saturday in that half hour to warrant a start again. And hopefully, after that, he'll be playing with increased confidence and can kick on. So yeah, so that's my only change, would be Brandon Hanlon for Mikel Mandron. Yeah, the bench, I can't see him being too dissimilar either. So, as always, match prediction. Like I say, I think it's going to be keenly contested. I think it'll be even. It's 2 sides in similar positions in the league at the moment, albeit they've played 1 game more. But I think if we go there and show the same desire, and show the same intensity, and show the same application that we did Saturday against Wycombe Wanderers, then I'm confident we can get something. So therefore, my prediction is Bristol Rovers 1, Gillingham 2. No. Yeah. Yes. Bristol Rovers 1, Gillingham 2. I'm going to go for goal scorers. I am going to go for Brandon Hanlon and Mark Marshall. Guarantee they won't start now. Anyway, that is enough from me this evening. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Very positive one this week after a really good performance at the weekend. We'll be back Thursday to revisit Bristol Rovers. Fingers crossed we'll be talking about another positive result and another positive performance. And then we'll be looking ahead to Saturday. Massive test. Ipswich are in town. Absolutely flying at the moment. It'd be good to see Tom Ash-Holy come back to the Priestfield. I'm sure he'll get an excellent reception. And just before I go, result of the week this week, there was a couple of huge scorelines, which you'd think might be the obvious ones. Rotherham beating Bolton 6-1, which was a bit odd considering that Bolton have got a load of senior players in now and then concede more than they had been doing with their kids. But fair play, Bolton scored their first league goal of the season. Peterborough absolutely ruined Rochdale despite only having about 40% of the ball. Mo Issa, Ivan Toney, Marcus Maddison, all absolutely flying at the moment. Sees the Posh up into the top 6. Consistency will remain the big question with them, but we'll have to wait and see. But my result of the weekend, where's it gone? I've lost it. Was a slightly less obvious one, and I'm going to say MK Dons for their performance at Blackpool. Blackpool side who'd only lost 1 in their first 7 games. Generally have been pretty solid at home. MK Dons went there and absolutely battered them 3-0, so fair play to them and to Paul Tisdale and his players. So that's my result of the week. MK Dons 3-0 victory at Blackpool. Sees them jump into the top half of the table, and they've had a very solid start to the season. Right, that is definitely enough from me. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You know where we are, all the social medias. We'll be back Thursday and then again on Saturday. And until next time, up the Gills.